Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
Former WWE employee Jonathan Coachman recalled Triple H attempting to take out his eye. The two were traveling together in a private jet, along with Vince McMahon, when the incident occurred. Jonathan Coachman was a part of WWE from 1999 to 2008, during which he played multiple roles, including commentator, backstage interviewer, and even interim general manager. He returned to the company in 2018, joining the Raw commentary team. He later transitioned into a pre-show panel host before departing WWE in 2021. During a recent edition of his Coach and Bro show, Jonathan Coachman told the story about the time he and Triple H were traveling in a private jet for a press conference, and the latter threw a banana peel at him with full force that could have taken his eye out. "One trip, we had only 4 of us going to a press conference. So Triple H, who's like a kid around Vince McMahon, always trying to impress him. He's sitting on one seat and I'm at the back. You know what he did? Triple H eats a banana. He takes the banana, and I just had my eyes barely open, looking at Vince. He's like a little kid going, 'Watch this, watch this.' And Triple H revs up and he throws the banana peel as hard as he can from 10 feet 1 in a million shot. Boom. And I catch it. They go crazy as if he had meant to do. Oh, I knew you were going to catch it. No. You were going to take my eye out with the butt of the banana peel. That is what you were going to do." From 8/19 to 9/02. Jonathan Coachman has not made any appearances for WWE since his departure in 2021. He now hosts multiple podcasts, where he discusses pro wrestling. "It was a quiet Tuesday afternoon when I found myself sitting across from Sean Waltman, better known to the WWE Universe's X-Pac, at a small cafe tucked away in downtown Orlando. He sipped at his black coffee, sleeves rolled up to reveal the faded ink of his DX days. He seemed at ease, but there was an edge to his laugh when I asked him about his wildest moment with Triple H. You know, man," Sean said, shaking his head, his grin tugging at an old memory, "Hunter and I have done some crazy stuff together. But there's one night that still makes me shudder, and laugh, when I think about it. I always tell him, 'You were going to take my eye out.'" I leaned in. The cafe noise fell away as he took a deep breath. It was '98, right at the peak of the Attitude Era. The DX days were fire. We were pushing every line you could push. We'd come through that curtain and people would lose their minds, signs in the crowd, green glow sticks, the whole deal. And that night, we were in Chicago. Raw is War. Sold out. We were booked to run a segment where Hunter was gonna smash me with a trash can lid, all good, right? We'd done stuff like that 100 times. Sean paused, eyes drifting to the window, as if watching the ghosts of that raucous arena swirl in the Florida sunshine. "So, the plan was simple, I'd be down on one knee, he'd swing, I'd get my hands up, easy pop, big noise, no harm done. But, man. Plans in wrestling are like promises at a bar at 2 a.m. They sound good in theory." He laughed, shaking his head. "Anyway, the crowd's going nuts. I'm selling the knee. Hunter's towering over me, giving me that King of Kings scowl, even though he hadn't fully taken on that name yet. He raises the trash can lid, it's standed to hell already, which should have made it safer, right?" Sean smirked. "Wrong. He swings it down, but instead of the flat center, the rim catches the edge of my eyebrow. Just this jagged, mangled piece of metal. It rips through the skin like butter. I swear, I felt the wind on my eyeball before I felt the pain." I flinched. He just grinned wider, tapping under his brow where a faint scar still hid beneath the creases of time. I dropped like a sack of bricks, man. Blood everywhere. The crowd's eating it up, they think it's a work. Hunter drops down, whispering, "You okay?" And I'm like, "Dude, you were going to take my eye out." And he's apologizing under his breath while he's still in character, trying to keep the camera from catching on. Sean's voice softened. "Hunter, man. Even then, he was a pro's pro. He knew how to protect you, and he felt terrible if something went wrong. After the match, I'm in the trainer's room getting 6 stitches, and there's Hunter pacing the hallway, chewing out anyone who walks by, like it's their fault I bled all over his tights." He let out a long sigh, eyes twinkling with a touch of mischief. I come out with this bandage on my face and I see him leaning on the wall. He looks up and goes, "You were gonna milk this forever, huh?" And I said, "Forever and a day, brother." And we just busted up laughing. Sean leaned back, the memory washing over him like an old highlight reel. "That's the thing about Hunter, He could be an absolute savage in the ring, but backstage he always checked on you. He was tough, yeah, but he cared about the boys. He knew wrestling was dangerous enough without us screwing each other up for real. He sipped his coffee again, his mind clearly rewinding. We've all had those scary near misses, you don't think about them until you're older. Back then? I was back out there the next night. Black eye, bandage, throwing crotch chops like nothing happened. The show goes on. I asked him if he ever brought it up with Triple H after they both moved on from the ring wars. Sean laughed. Every reunion, man. Every time we'd get together for a DX spot, I'd say, "Hey, don't swing anything near my face this time, okay?" And he'd roll his eyes and tell me I was still the same smartass I'd always been. He paused, eyes crinkling at the corners. You know, that's the part fans sometimes don't see. We beat the hell out of each other out there, but it's trust. It's love, really. You trust the other guy with your body, and sometimes your sight. If that trash can lid was an inch lower? Who knows, maybe I'd be telling this story with a glass eye. I asked him if moments like that ever made him want to hang it up. Sean shook his head firmly. No way. That's the thrill, man. You're inches from disaster every night. It's what makes pro wrestling beautiful and ugly at the same time. It's a dance with danger. And you do it with your brothers. I wouldn't trade a single scar. He checked his watch, drained the last of his coffee, and stood up. Anyway, next time you see Hunter, you tell him X-Pac says thanks for not blinding me. He'll know exactly what you mean. We stepped out into the afternoon heat. Sean slipped on his sunglasses, hiding the faint trace of that old wound that almost took more than just a piece of skin. As he disappeared into the hum of Orlando traffic, I couldn't help but think how one slip of metal, one wild swing, could have changed everything. In the squared circle, the line between safe and scary is razor thin. But for guys like X-Pac and Triple H, it's just another day at the office, another story to tell when the ring lights go down and the legends sit back to remember the nights they almost lost an eye, but gained a memory that would last a lifetime.